morning, and welcome to another episode of Hard Factor. It is Tuesday, September 24th. It's the first day of fall, allegedly?
Yesterday was.
Oh, okay.
Allegedly.
We're announcing it today. Okay, cool.
Well, it's September 23rd now, Will, so it's the first day of fall
While
now.
we're recording.
Yes, while we're recording, yes.
Okay. So, first day of fall, but all of our stories about how it's really hot, so
It's
we'll get into that.
88 degrees in Austin right now at late at night, and the garage is 86 degrees.
Yep, and our top story, we'll get into that too.
Accurate.
Not really too many huge stories today besides people still talking about Iran and Ukraine gate. But before we get started, Pat, I'd like you to explain to us this new sweater.
All right, so I have this sweater, and it's not sweater weather here, but I saw it online, and it was on my birthday, and it's Donald Trump making out with Kim Jong.
It's the Notebook.
Yeah,
it's the Notebook picture.
And Kim Jong Un has a wet T-shirt on.
Kim Jong Un is Ryan, not Reynolds, but Ryan
Gosling.
Gosling.
And Trump is wearing a spring dress.
Nice.
He looks like a mechanic.
Luckily, we only have like 400 YouTube and Facebook subscribers that'll witness this, because if all of our podcast listeners could see it, 25% of them would unsubscribe.
I just like that Trump's wearing his
It's a
wedding
haunting
ring.
image.
He's wearing his wedding ring,
Yeah.
so it's good.
Cool.
All right. Our top stories for the day. I'm going to do one about power outages in California to prevent wildfires related to the heat. And then Mark, Wes, and Pat will take us on a news buffet of other headlines. All right. Let's get it going with Northern California. It's fire season again in Northern California. Not the good kind that starts once the snow is falling and we've all got giant logs burning in the fireplace. Everybody's sipping IPAs, super high on edibles, wearing their flat brim hats. Not that kind of fire
So not
season.
controlled fires like in your house or outside your house.
No.
Not uncontrolled fires.
I noticed how you
But
said
that's a beautiful time.
you said
up
all
here.
of us, and then described your lifestyle.
Right.
When that,
It's pretty common around this area, this Northern Nevada, Northern California.
when
area.
that Great Lakes Christmas sale comes out.
Yeah. For the 2 weeks in Austin.
It's a hot sweater.
Not that nice kind. This is the horrible late summer kind of fires, or I guess early fall, sorry, kind of fire season that happens when extremely dry air, high winds, and high daytime temperatures combine to make every pine tree in the Sierra Nevada mountain chain a sitting powder keg that could explode with the slightest spark, basically. A little pine needle catches on fire, boom, you got a giant forest fire. So this week, with humidity between 10 and 20%, winds up to 50 miles an hour, and temperatures over 90 degrees during the day, Pacific Gas and Energy, or PG&E, has started to preemptively shut down power in the Sierra Nevadas, and it could affect up to 124,000 residents.
They sound familiar, Will.
PG&E.
Yeah, they sound
You'll
familiar.
remember them from last year. This is California's primary energy provider, and they were found responsible by the state for starting most of the California wildfires last year, summer and fall, including the one that devastated the town of Paradise and robbed tons of people of their homes.
Now, did they do this as like a company activity? Was it like a bonding thing, or was it inadvertent?
No, this was like so.
What do you mean by that? Did
They
they
said the company caused the fires.
You
Is
think-
that-
you
how
think-
did-
They were found. They were found to have caused. Basically, there was an investigation, and they had power lines, and during maintenance, sparks ignited a wildfire.
there you are.
that whole bonding, let's commit a mass genocide?
I don't know.
They didn't declare
No,
bankruptcy?
accidental.
I've never had a job. I don't know.
Accidental. Anyways, PG&E just reached an $11 billion settlement for starting those fires last year. So it makes sense now that this year they've started to preemptively shut off as of Monday night power to 21,000 residents in Butte, Nevada, and Yuba counties in California. And they may expand that area further into wine country and closer to Sacramento if needed to counteract the fire conditions.
So just fuck you, your power's off.
Are you saying, Will, that 21,000 people might have missed the Redskins game?
Yes. 21,000 people in the Sierra foothills
Were
Probably.
denied
I'd
of
probably-
watching.
I'd probably call it the Bears game at this point. but-
Yeah, you're
Right.
It is
yeah,
the Bears
it's like
game.
50-3 Bears.
Yeah.
So
They're like a guy with like just some bumps that they don't know what it is on their dick. They're just like sitting out a few plays.
What?
I think Wes
Yeah.
just kind of revealed that he has HPV.
No.
So you're saying what are you talking about?
Wait, what? What's the
They're,
analogy there?
they're just sitting out a few plays because they don't want to fuck anything up.
Oh, you're saying the energy company, right?
Yeah, the
they're
energy
pulling their
company.
dick out,
Yeah.
as in the power
Right.
out of
But-
the
but
mountains, which made a vagina.
But in your analogy,
Okay.
you're in control of sitting out a few plays. These people are not. The power company's sitting out.
I'm saying the power company's
the
in
power
control.
company's telling these people.
Yeah,
they have
I
dicks,
get it
They
now.
have bump dicks and they're sitting out.
No,
for
the power. I'm saying the power company is saying they have bump dicks.
The power company has
No.
bump dicks.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
here's-
that's what he's saying.
That's what I'm saying.
All right.
They're trying to say
He's
like
saying
maybe they'll
the
go
vagina.
away.
in this situation, the vagina is the entire mountain chain.
Yes, exactly, Will. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Anyone out there with a bump dick, it will go away.
It'll go away.
Yeah, just sit a few plays out as
Just
Wes.
wish it,
Just
wish it away.
Just turn the power off for a bit.
So another energy provider in Southern California is considering this same sit a few plays out with the bump dick move that could affect up to 41,000 residents in Southern California.
So these people just don't have power until it rains.
Well, no. Until the conditions improve. So it's going to get
Right.
cooler in this area, Northern California area, later this week. So they could probably turn the juice back on once the fire threat's not as high.
So just 10 days in the wilderness without power.
3.
So
I think it's like more like 3.
Yeah,
but
so
yeah, I mean,
breaking
it's
and entering is gonna be
inconvenient.
on a rise.
It's inconvenient for the people that live out there in the boonies, you know. And it sounds
Really?
though pretty reasonable to me. Like if you're the company, right? Like the only thing you can do to control the situation is basically pull the spark away from the sitting powder keg. So, you know, I mean, this is just
Well,
kind of
I'm-
like
if
I don't know. What do you guys think?
Well, if there's no competition and you just lost $11 billion last year, then yeah, this is the right move.
And it's power, so there is no competition.
Right.
Yeah, I see that, Will. I see that. It's tough love. It's tough love.
I mean,
is what it is.
it's like what else are you gonna do, right? You're gonna be fined $30 billion, and you're gonna sit a few plays out.
Safety first.
They weren't able safety first. They weren't able to, and they probably won't be able to for quite some time, fix the problems with their lines.
Right, they can't make them spark proof.
Right.
So it's just you got to pull the juice out.
It's either
while it's high
pull the
risk.
juice out or pray that no one flicks a cigarette.
Right.
in the
Also,
time
it's illegal to trim the trees around a lot of the power lines due to regulations. So not exactly a great situation there either. Okay, taking it to the
All
internet.
those ingrown hairs, you know.
Oh, now it's back to
Let's keeping it going. All right, taking
It's
it
an
to
ingrown
the
hair. I'm
internet.
sure of it. I'm sure of it. Can I pop it?
Wes has a lot of full body mirrors in the house.
All right.
fine.
First up, this guy Jezebel or girl, I don't know. They say some of the devastating blazes in the past 2 years were started by PG&E Corp. Now reported as absolute fact.
Yeah, Jezebel,
So-
that's the whole point of the article.
Yep. Literally nobody disputing that. In
Yeah.
fact, they settled for $11 billion. So
Jezebel just saw PG&E in the headline and blasted a comment.
She's what we call a cherry on top commentator.
Yeah.
now say what? This person says, notice how the journalist blames these wildfires on climate change? Give me a break. And that it was a Yahoo article that I got that comment from. And yeah, the journalist presented it as fact that wildfires are more frequent due to climate change as a fact.
Spoiler alert, Greta Thunberg would not get along with Say What.
Yeah, no, she would not. The next up is Jeep. They say, hey, wow. He says, time to break up the huge company into smaller independent co-ops serving the people.
Sounds a little socialist to me. Sounds like the S word.
But I don't. That doesn't even make. That's not even socialism. That's just like communism. Like the government's not even control of that situation.
We don't want that.
That's just whatever. That's the people. Power Marxism. All right, and then finally, Oil Man. He knows what's going on. He says, "You get what you sued for."
Yeah. Oil Man's correct.
I like how Oil Man's avatar is the letter O-M.
Yeah, he made his own Oil Man avatar.
He's pot committed.
What were you saying? Don't leave your wife?
Yeah, don't leave your wife alone around Oil Man.
No.
What'll happen?
He'll oil her up.
Yeah.
And then he'll man her down.
Yeah.
We were both horny.
He doesn't care if he's got.
Sorry.
He doesn't care if he's got bumps on his.
It
dick.
made a lot of sense logically.
Yeah.
We both wanted to fuck. You weren't around, so
I don't want her forever, but I was horny.
Old man
Power was out.
Old man will spark those fires.
Let's take it to the news buffet, guys. All right, so Tonio Brown was released by the Patriots last Friday, as you may remember, after an 11-day career with the team.
Nice.
The Patriots
He still caught a touchdown.
He couldn't catch one team. He was in solid form.
He's like Rudy. He got on the the stats.
Nothing like Rudy. The Patriots gave a very vague
Similar.
statement when they released the 7-time Pro Bowler, saying, quote, "We appreciate the hard work of many people over the last 11 days, but we feel that it is best to move in a different direction at this time." If you read between the lines there, guys, you'll notice that this is just a statement, a public apology, in fact, from the Patriots front office to their staff for making them work tirelessly to bring the personification of herpes into their locker room.
Yeah, it's also, I'd say, not only herpes, but a direct apology to the 3 towel boys that got pink eye.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
He's just
AB
farting
was
on 'em.
definitely pulling his hijinks.
The lower the totem pole, the more likely you got pink eye.
For the purpose of this story, let's call him BB, please.
Just an apology, basically.
That's true.
To everybody besides Antonio Brown.
Exactly. They didn't say anything about, like, thanks for coming over, Antonio. It was mostly, we're going to publicly apologize to you and your wives.
They should apologize to the fans because they're going to win the Super Bowl going like 14-2 in the regular season instead of 16-0.
That is true. Could have had that perfect season. Now, who knows why the Patriots really let BB go? And who knows why no other team has picked him up, although he's a top 3 receiver with God-given talent in the prime of his career. One popular theory is because being on a team with him makes professional football about as fun as being a struggling gay-for-pay adult film actor.
I don't know. I think most of those guys have a lot of fun.
I said struggling, Wes.
Still.
Or maybe it's the alleged rape allegations. Who knows? The good news, though, guys, is that Buttonio isn't just going to sit alone at home and not bother anyone with his cheese grater or personality and his allegedly uncontrollable sex organs. No, he's going back to school. That's right. BB announced on Monday that via Twitter that he would be enrolling back in his alma mater of Central Michigan, and Brown is kicking his self-betterment into high gear with 4 online classes.
Can we please let him play for Central Michigan?
He has 1 year of eligibility left, maybe. He played
amazing.
3 years, but I think when you play pro, you can't go back.
You can't go back.
Yeah.
Maybe if he never had an agent when he was pro.
Which is why I still don't. Was Necessary Roughness, he was a high school star? Was that what it was?
What?
The movie Necessary Roughness
What
with
about
Scott Bakula?
Yeah, what about it?
Because he had like 1 year of eligibility.
Really,
left.
Burt Reynolds,
Well, he
right?
didn't play pro, probably.
Exactly. I think that was what it was.
You can't go pro.
Yeah.
Can't go pro. All right, guys, here are the classes. You ready?
Yeah.
We got MGT 312, or Introduction to Management, where BB will learn what it's like to deal with insufferable assholes who don't understand what goes into keeping an organization on track, and hopefully he'll cry at the end.
I smell some Papa John's franchises.
You think? He'll also be taking ENG 303WI, which is technical writing, where he'll learn how to distinguish and articulate the difference between an owner's handjob parlor problem and allegedly taking the first step to supermanning an unwilling participant, which is ejaculating on their back.
Rip off Howard Stern and have a series of books called Fart Man.
Very, very possible. Yeah. Then he's got REL 334WI, which is a religion class titled Death and Dying, where he'll come to terms with his football career.
Oh, burn.
And finally,
can you imagine? His mind. Like, can you imagine how many times his mind is going to be blown during Death and Dying?
During an online religion class, yeah.
If he actually shows up and listens to it, like, he's just going to be like, just. I mean, just
he might
the
get
kind of guy he is.
He might get an A in that class.
Yeah.
Guys, be really enamored with that class.
Finally, he'll be taking SOC 323, which is a socialism class on racism and inequality. I got nothing there. I just really hope it turns out that Buttonio does not have CTE, because I'll feel bad. But otherwise, fuck this asshole.
Yeah, which is probably at this point like not a great percentage chance that he doesn't.
No, he probably definitely has CTE.
Yeah. That's sad. It's
So
a sad way to end it.
He'll probably get B's.
We were having a great time making fun of him, and then he dropped CTE on us.
Well, you know.
Okay. All right. Well, the UN Climate Action Summit wrapped up in New York on Monday, and a 16-year-old Swedish climate activist stole the show on the last day. Did you guys see all the videos circulating about her, this Greta Thunberg?
Yeah, I saw her very angry face.
I saw it without any sound and decided I didn't want to watch it.
Right. I mean, you just looking at the still images.
I did the same thing.
You knew she was mad. You knew she was mad at something, right?
I knew it was going to be annoying.
She was very upset. Well, she's a real pistol, as we mentioned. She addressed the United Nations General Assembly on Monday, saying things like, we are in the beginning of a mass extinction, and all you can talk about is money and fairy tales of eternal economic growth. How dare you?
Okay.
You've stolen my dreams and my childhood. She's 16 and lives in Sweden. With your empty words, and yet I'm one of the lucky ones. People are suffering. People are dying.
What?
These
Not
fairy
her.
tales
Not
of humans doing business for generations and generations, they're just nonsense.
She's got millions of followers, and she's floating around on yachts.
Did she mean that?
She's fine.
Did she mean to say my children and grandchildren's
Right,
dream,
she's
or
full
did
of
she say
shit.
my dream?
She's had a privileged life. She also said that this is all wrong. I shouldn't be up here. I should be back in school on the other side of the ocean, which is exactly where members of the UN wish she was.
Yeah, take your own advice.
Yeah. Thunberg refuses to fly because of the high levels of emissions from air travel, so she sailed to the U.S. on a zero-emissions yacht.
I heard this morning.
She went to like a Geneva convention, or that's probably too close to home, but she went to another convention. It took her 32 hours, and she traveled on like a slow-moving train.
Yeah.
She refuses to fly.
Now, don't get me wrong. I am all about helping and saving the environment. But I heard this morning, and it was the first time I was ever like, no fucking way am I going to stop flying and take energy-efficient yachts.
Yeah.
Not going to happen.
Nobody can afford it.
That's not fucking feasible.
I'll recycle more
Yeah, that's
often.
not feasible. She also, the reason she was there is because she's like the most famous climate control change person. Started when she was 13. She went viral for another rant, and she has like millions of followers. So she's not like coming out of nowhere. They like wanted her to be there to yell at them. Thunberg refused. Sorry, I already said that. Donald Trump briefly attended one of the events at the conference after saying he wouldn't due to a conflict. He had a speech actually in like the same building the same day, but he did go and spend about 10 minutes at one of the events. He definitely did not attend the Greta Thunberg Screamfest. Not all of Western Europeans are as intense and serious as young Greta, though, as Germany has kicked off Oktoberfest the same day that the climate summit started, September 21st, and it runs all the way through October 6th. So it's a tough call for me on where I want to spend my European vacation in the coming years between Switzerland and Sweden or Germany in the early parts of our fall. Should I go to a glacier funeral or a Greta Thunberg Earth Scream Poetry Fest, or just anywhere in Germany to get absolutely loaded in a lederhosen drinking 32-ounce mugs?
Baby.
Yeah, Oktoberfest.
Yeah. I wanted to go. I want to go so bad to Oktoberfest.
Yeah.
Like, it's a bucket list for me.
You know, they got that piss resistant paint on a lot of the walls in Germany.
Really?
The same paint they put on boats, so your piss bounces back to your pants.
Can you put it in your pants?
Yeah,
Can
you
you put the paint in your pants?
It bounces back.
Yeah, it bounces back. It'll show you, Wes.
To see that.
Think twice, Wes.
I'm not worried about where I'm peeing on Oktoberfest.
Those like this is the giant beers that they serve. Like everybody's like double fisting like 32-ounce beers. It's just
Well, remember
it's
when
like
we
so much
remember when we
fun.
got hammered at 16 and munching, and no one turned a blind eye to us.
It's the exact,
Yeah, Munich. You
exact
could drink at
opposite.
any age in Germany, and it's an awesome place, and they love beers. And,
Exact
I wish
opposite
we were.
of the
I wish we had been there during Oktoberfest.
Like, we
Looks
got
like
a
a
problem
good
with the climate, but I'd rather be at Oktoberfest. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Why do something when you can not think about it?
Right. Exactly.
what I
Sorry,
said.
Greta.
Yeah, like your dick and the bumps on it.
That's right. All right, moving on. In the wake of the newest scandal President Trump is facing, a la Ukraine Gate, which the boys covered on yesterday's show, impeachment talks have ramped up a bit with the House Dems, even though Speaker of the House and Trump ball-biter Nancy Pelosi is still a bit wary of proceeding until she is absolutely sure they will get the necessary 218 votes needed to move the proceedings to the Senate. But it seems that some Democrats who were straddling the fence on impeachment could now be swayed to vote yes, depending on what new information comes out.
I mean, they're always going to be swayed to vote yes
Yeah.
at any point.
We're in it's a party line situation right now.
They're always straddling. So the House...
What did he do? What did he do? Should I go yes?
Yeah, they don't know. So the House Democratic Caucus will meet today, and the big agenda will likely be how to proceed with the investigation of all these new findings. And it sounds like if they think the Trump administration withholds even the tiniest bit of suspected information regarding Ukraine Gate, they will blow it out of proportion, demand another full investigation into Trump, and impeachment will inch closer to happening.
Yeah, but this isn't going to happen because the guy that's the whistleblower works for the intelligence community, which is technically the executive branch. So, like, nothing's going to happen. The information is not going to come out.
If there was information there, I would want it to come out. But at the same time, reading the story, did they resolve that there was absolutely no corruption between that power company and Hunter Biden? Because how is Joe Biden skating away with his shithead son again? He's not even being touched by
There
this
may
story.
have been corruption, but the thing is, it wasn't Biden's decision. A ton of people voted to get that person out of office. The person,
After he threatened to withhold $1 billion in funding.
No.
Yes.
Biden's son may have been corrupt.
Right. So
but-
why is that
but,
not
like,
being
it
talked
wasn't-
about as well? Why,
and Biden,
why isn't Trump being investigated and Joe Biden being investigated for having his son be his mentor?
Because Biden was cleared of it.
Trump's got it in the pocket.
His rock. Yeah.
Because like 900 people voted to get him out of there, and Biden probably wanted him out of there so his son didn't get fucked. But it wasn't.
No, I mean he said publicly that he threatened to withhold $1 billion if they didn't get rid of the prosecutor.
Yep.
And then they did.
Yeah, he bragged about it.
Same thing that Trump's being accused of now.
Yeah, so Trump is already, of course, admitted to talking with Ukraine about Hunter Biden's shady dealings. But Dems want to know if Trump told Ukraine he would withhold military aid to Ukraine if they did not investigate the Bidens. And
Yeah,
that
it may not have been military with Biden, but it's the same essential thing.
Withholding something. Everyone's always withholding from Ukraine.
Withholding something to get Ukraine to change an
What are
investigation.
you withholding now?
What they're saying is,
hold a piece of gum from Ukraine.
Ukraine, do you want this, Ukraine? You can't have this, is what they're saying.
Yeah, so that might be the tipping point. And if you think Trump did, in fact, do that heinous act, then you should hop on predicted.org/promo/hardfactor20 and get in on the impeachment market for Trump. In the past 24 hours, the value of Trump being impeached by the end of 2019 has risen from 34 cents to 46 cents in the yes.
Whoa.
So now might be a good time to get in on the absolute zero chance he is impeached before the end of 2019. There is the no is currently selling for 57 cents, so a great chance to almost double your money right now because there's no way.
So one thing
Yeah.
about that. I looked up the impeachment rules before we started the show. So basically, the House brings it and the Senate tries it. So not necessary that the Senate, he would need to be removed from office by the Senate. Just the House would need to impeach him.
Okay.
It has to go through the House and to the Senate. Also, pro tip, as Wes is hinting at with this tip, is that anytime something in the news happens, usually one side overreacts, whether it's like Trump supporters or the opposite side. In this case, it's the opposite side. You can always make money off of people's emotions unpredicted.
Yes.
It's the easiest way to make money. Think with your wallet unpredicted, not with your heart, and you will win money.
Yeah. So
Take that, Greta.
Yes.
Sorry, Greta.
So from what I'm reading is that Pelosi will not risk the losing Democratic House members in a GOP leaning like district by going after Trump. They don't want them to rile up the base of Trump, which is
They want safe seats.
Yeah. So when the House elections come in November, they don't want to fuck that up, leaving little time for impeachment by the end of the year. So
it's September 23rd. It's not going to go through the House into the Senate by no for sure right now.
Yes, it's a lock. Go no.
This is what I'm talking about.
We're talking about the government.
When
guys.
people overreact,
Yes.
you go on the opposite side.
Yeah, so collect the free 20 we're giving you, and whatever else you want to make on buying no for impeachment in 2019 by going to predicted.org/promo/hardfactor20. Get in on the action with us. Again, it will make this political talk much more enjoyable and will also fatten your pockets, much like Trump has done to all of us so far.
Yeah, buy yourself a cheese steak.
Totally legal.
Totally
legal.
All right, guys. Alicia Hessel of Jefferson County, Missouri, had some splaining to do when a recent prenatal check revealed that both her and her unborn baby were completely methed up.
She's like, that's not my baby.
That's not my baby.
That's not my meth. That's
Who
not
put
my
that meth baby in me?
What was the
They
baby doing?
tested her unborn baby for meth.
Prenatal, did a blood
Well,
test.
the baby was just kicking so much they had to, they had to test something.
It's in your blood.
Smoking cigs.
Yeah, just taking electronics
Baby
apart.
was doing handstands.
Yeah, guys, it's hard to convince a doctor that you have no idea how the meth got in your body, but it's especially hard in the state of Missouri where there's literally a law that requires sellers of homes to disclose if the home was ever a meth lab to buyers of homes.
Yeah, that's
a law.
That's what people would do. They disclose that. It's like that should be a census question. You have to answer it, right?
Yeah.
No, I tell people I have one cat when I go to my houses.
Well, it is kind of important.
Landlord out there, I have one cat.
Yeah, he's lying.
I recently, my next door neighbors used to be people that sold whatever drug they had, and my car got broken into a number of times while they were still there because people thought that they were going to the meth house looking in my car for drugs.
Were these the
and
people
when they
that-
moved out, that stopped.
Were these the people that scratched the epithet into your hood or your door? The one you had to
No.
cover with cardboard, remember that?
With cardboard, no, that was years ago.
Oh, okay.
That was a long time ago.
All right, well, guys,
yeah, that was like a decade.
Remember that time.
Wes did come and grab a Xanax, which I'm prescribed to for my mailbox the other night. So
Yes, I
that
did.
doesn't look great for my neighbors when he just rolled up, opened the mailbox, grabbed a pill, and left. That didn't look great from across the street.
Late
neighbors.
night delivery.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, guys.
Girlfriend's dog died.
That's
She
a
needed
federal
it.
crime, right?
What?
Drugs in the mailbox?
Yes.
Didn't happen. It's a joke.
You live, you learn. Believe it or not, guys, the fact that their house was used to manufacture a shit ton of methamphetamines was something the former owners of the Hessel's home forgot to let them know at closing. So let's see. The front door sticks a little bit, and Mrs. Steuben on the left can be very particular if you walk through a yard. And what am I forgetting? Oh, we cooked some really memorable batches of Crystal from time to time. The Hessels brought in a meth expert who found meth residue everywhere, especially in the homes.
And broken glass and a dead body.
They found it a hot spot in the home's HVAC system where I'm sure the meth expert crawled up to make sure he really got it all.
Yeah. My baby really crawls out of the crib at night. You know what I mean?
This is like the fentanyl in the fan.
Exactly. The fentanyl.
Fentanyl.
The fentanyl. The couple has launched a GoFundMe, y'all. So if you want to help out, they're asking people's help to get all the meth out of their home. Right now, they're at $2,600 out of $100,000. According to the site, the future tweaker is due in January, and the prenatal tests are, quote, looking marvelous for baby Hessel.
So I'll be honest, I wasn't really paying attention too much to that
Fentanyl is what we called it.
Yeah.
Fentanyl.
Fentanyl.
Yeah.
Are we saying that she doesn't smoke meth and it was just all the
100%.
residue in her house?
No meth. She does no meth.
Are we just believing her for that?
No, it's true. I saw the interview. So it was 6 years ago that they bought the house, and apparently this is pretty common. A meth lab can leave meth residue in the paint, in the floor, in the walls. It's just meth everywhere.
Well, so she's been methed up for 6 years.
If that's true, that's an incredibly sad story. But
Baby's fine.
I'm not buying it.
I'm with Mark.
I think she smokes meth.
Yeah, I think smoking
Seems
meth
more
also
likely.
leaves a residue in your baby.
Right. Anyways,
Doctors are still out on that
sad.
one.
I hope the baby turns out fine.
Baby's gonna be fine.
James Ketchell, a 37-year-old British adventurer, became the first person to circumnavigate the globe on a gyrocopter, which was a journey that took him about 6 months to complete.
I think it's a Eurocopter.
No, I don't know. Eurocopter's not made out of meat. I think it's a gyrocopter.
It's a Slovakia copter.
Gyro, like gyroscope.
Gyro, like gyrate.
What is it? What does this thing look like? What is a gyrocopter?
Yeah, let me explain that. It's a small helicopter-like aircraft powered by a propeller on its rear instead of blades on its top. So it looks like a hang glider with enclosed helicopter doors, but the blades are like in the back and there's nothing on top. It's very small.
Yeah, it
It's
looks
very
like
small.
something you die in.
Yeah, it could fit one person. It could fit exactly one person.
It's the type of vehicle you wish upon your enemy.
Yes.
Why'd you come over in your gyrocopter, Brad?
We will set you free, but you have to leave in a gyrocopter. Yeah. Good luck. Ketchell's aircraft had a range of 700 nautical miles with a maximum speed of 70 knots, meaning he had to land a fuck ton of times to cross the world. Like, he couldn't get very far. He started in mainland Europe and Russia, then crossed over to Canada and the United States, flew over Greenland and Iceland, and finally stopped in where he started from in England. His last stop before he got back to England was in the Faroe Islands, north of Scotland.
Imagine how annoying those stops are, because everyone's like,
What is this?
"What's that?"
What are you doing?
Oh yeah,
The whole
same
world?
story every place you go.
I would pay money to watch Wes handle that situation, where he has to land and explain to everyone what
What
the
a gyrocopter
gyrocopter
is.
is every time.
No, I mean, did his wife serve him with like divorce papers on his final landing?
Why? Because he's an idiot?
Yeah, because he's a moron.
I don't think he
Yeah,
He was
he's
gone for
insane.
6 months on some
Gyrocopter
stupid
guy
mission.
is
I don't
crazy.
think a guy in a gyrocopter or gyrocopter has a wife. You know what I mean? Like a 6-month trip.
Maybe.
Anyways, what's
It's
his
ambitious.
Fuel man would have been shacked
Oil
up.
man?
Oil man would have been shacked up with his wife. He apparently had an amazing time and took some fantastic videos and pictures of his amazing views, like one that went viral of him floating or hovering over the Golden Gate Bridge like a big bird. But it was not all peaches and cream. He says, I was almost struck by lightning and had to attempt an emergency landing on the road in Canada one of the last few days of his trip. Yeah. And then he added that he was pleased it was raining for his last landing in England, where several people witnessed it, because it showed people that it's not that simple flying around the
Because
world.
the gyrocopter was on fire.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
I almost died for the 50th time.
You mean, yeah, he wanted to impress the people on how challenging it is. Like, did you think people didn't think
You know, he's up there.
flying in a 6-foot gyrocopter was like not challenging?
It
Give me a
starts
fucking
raining,
break.
and he's like, "Oh yeah."
That guy's got so many harrowing experiences.
Yeah, we get it. James Ketchell, it was insane. I don't think anybody thought it wasn't. My mom wouldn't let me travel home on a friend's dad's small plane from Virginia Tech to Northern Virginia. I'd imagine she'd get an ulcer if I told her Hard Factor was having our first and last ever annual gyrocopter event. The headline would read, 4 drunk idiots, fat drunk idiots crash gyrocopters immediately upon taking off.
We wouldn't crash.
We'd get about 30 yards.
They wouldn't get off the ground.
The weight limit
Yeah,
on a
we get off the-
gyrocopter.
All right, take us home, boys.
Speaking of alcohol, that's probably not a good drug to be under the influence of while in the air, but something James or anyone on a gyrocopter should have in their system before, during, and after a gyrocopter trip around the world is CBD, because that shit will relax you while not getting you high. So the best place to get that is cbdistillery.com. Prescription, you can get your prescriptions filled up right there online. Listen to what their customers have to say. 5 stars. I highly recommend CBD to everyone. It's done a complete turnaround for me. Another customer wrote, excellent product, makes a big difference in my health. Where you get CBD products is crucial. With independent lab tests and nearly 250,000 customers, cbdistillery.com are the folks that I trust. They're the folks that you trust. If you have health concerns, you owe it to yourself to see what CBD can do for you. Go to cbdistillery.com and enter Factor for 20% off. Again, enter Factor for 20% off at cbdistillery.com. And Greta, I know you're 16, so I don't know if I can legally say this, but certainly when you're 18, get on some fucking CBD.
Nice. All right, last story. We got a lot of listener DMs for this one, so we got to give it to you. I'll be honest, I've always been a little wary of camels, as I'm always cautious of anything that has the potential to regurgitate the contents of its stomach and then spew those contents all over my unsuspecting fat face as I baby talk it over a fence. and camels have a high probability of doing so.
You've been around me when we're in that situation.
Yeah, I have. Yes. I certainly have.
Hey, Mark.
They
Over
also,
the fence.
they also,
Good, Mark.
Come on, Mark. Come on. And apparently, they also have the proclivity to sit on you if you fuck with them enough. And that's exactly what happened to one woman who was at a truck stop in Gros Tête, Louisiana. Am I saying that right, Will?
Yeah, gross tet, big
All right,
head.
all right.
French for big head.
But I got to say, this woman asked for it. And it also sounds like her husband was trying to kill their dog via camel trampling. So apparently the woman and her husband who had stopped at this place where Casper and the camel was on display were tossing treats to their dog inside the camel's enclosure.
Oh, there it is. That's the killing
There
bird.
it is.
Yeah, there
yes,
it is.
That's the mistake.
So
and,
they were just purposely trying to put their dog in the enclosure with the camel?
yeah, they're trying
Right
to kill
under
it.
the hoof. As it lifted a hoof, like throws a treat
Probably
under.
one of those stupid white dogs.
What?
The little ones, you know?
Oh,
with the
little
dirt,
one.
with the dirty beard. I fucking hate those dogs.
All right. And so when the dog decided to follow the treats inside Casper's pen, they decided they needed to rescue it and enter the pen. And when they entered, the man shoved Casper and swatted at him with his LSU hat, which really
Get
pissed him
out of
off.
here, Casper.
Go Tigers!
Yeah, get out of here, Tiger.
Go, go.
Tigers!
Yeah. And that's when Casper decided to teach them a lesson. The 1,000-plus camel promptly sat on the presumably very slow-moving
1,000
woman.
pounds plus.
Yeah, 1,000-pound plus. He sat on her, pinning her to the ground, where she quickly found herself in a fight for her life.
She quickly farted.
But to her credit, she knew what to do. Instead of panicking, as most would, the woman decided to fight back in the only way she knew how to, by chomping down on Casper's big, hairy, and disgustingly smelly testicles.
She's pulled that off before.
Yeah.
She did that to her first husband.
Yeah, this is...
Not to this guy with the LSU hat.
She's
Yeah,
like,
she's not the
He's
guy.
gotten this before.
she thought to herself, this is what I've been training for.
He just immediately felt the pains of the camel. He's like, ooh, that's gotta hurt.
I've been there.
Yeah.
When was your last shower? So quoting the woman, I bit his balls to get him off of me. I bit his testicles to get him off of me. And it worked like a fucking charm. Luckily, no human nor animal was hurt, but the couple is being cited with a leash law violation and also criminal trespassing. And now her husband can use the line, I didn't take a shower, baby, but I smell better than Casper, I guarantee.
Sorry about
Go
my bumpy
back
dick.
to camels, though. Like, you can't trust anything that doesn't drink water. Like a snake or a camel.
They don't
you know
drink
what?
You can't trust anything that's the preferred transportation method of terrorists.
Well, also, too many humps on a camel. We made fun of Quasimodo for generations for having a humpback. Like, camels have two humps.
They just
three
get a
humps.
pass. With
Sometimes they have
double,
one.
Double
Yeah,
the
they get
humps.
they get a pass. No, they
They have
should.
one or two.
Yeah.
All right. And that's going to do it for Hard Factor. Apparently, all of you out there love stickers, as we have shipped to multiple foreign countries, including Vancouver, Toronto, Quebec, and Ontario.
That's one country.
I know.
Calgary.
Actually, what we have found out is that our neighbors to the north fucking love us, and we appreciate you guys and gals a lot. Your messages when asking for stickers have been very motivational, so keep them coming.
And that's why we're doing Blackface Friday. No, wait. Wait. We're not.
Keep them coming, and we will keep sending you stickers to plaster your favorite bar, gas station pump, laptop, or bumper. Also, don't forget to leave those 5-star reviews. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Hard Factor News. And now we will take you out with a friend of the program, Trinidad James's new single off his new album titled Playlist. We hope you enjoy, and of course, most importantly, have a great fucking day.